10th National Assembly reaffirms commitment to citizens' aspirations. House leadership hosts Citizens Roundtable as part of midterm anniversary events. And Rivers State tables 1.48 trillion naira budget before House Committee. Hello and welcome to You and Your Reps, the space where citizens meet lawmakers and issues that matter most take center stage. From budget breakdowns to Democracy Day reflections, we are unpacking what's happening right inside the National Assembly and how it affects you. I am Victor Azu. Thank you for joining us. Democracy isn't handed down. It's a trust that Nigerians must protect. And that's the message from the National Assembly leadership at the June 12 special joint sitting, where presiding officers pledged full cooperation with the Tinubu administration, all in a bid to strengthen democracy and improve the lives of Nigerians.
For 2 years now, the president is seen in Parliament more than once annually, not only for budget presentation ritual, but also in solidarity for Democracy Day and the nurturing of democratic values. For the leadership of the National Assembly, the hallowed chamber is home for President Tinubu, and this is indicative of a stronger bond between the two arms of government.
The lesson is very clear. Where governance is in partnership, progress follows. But where governance is a contest, the people suffer. Therefore, as we comemorate 26 years of uninterrupted democratic governance, we must renew our national commitment to foster collaboration between the different arms of government and ignore the critics who decide to turn the parliament rubber stamp. But they do not understand why we are here.
The lawmakers applaud the president's expressed aversion to Nigeria being a one-party state. Happy with the conferment of national honors on distinguished Nigerians, including living and late icons of the pro-democracy struggle, they equally commend ongoing economic reforms, as well as the president's support to legislators to improve the welfare of their constituents. Still, they ask for more from the president.
You have demonstrated remarkable result in removing the fuel subsidy and allowing the naira to float. Now we require an equally decisive intervention in our power sector. While progress is evident, it is time to wave your magic wand once more to break the cycle of underperformance by shifting from an over-reliance on thermal and hydroelectricity to a diversified energy mix. We must embrace renewable and clean energy sources, such as solar, wind, and even nuclear, to ensure a reliable and sustainable national grid. If anyone can do this, Mr. President, it is you.
The leadership of the National Assembly says it is on the same page with President Tinubu to foster collaboration among the arms of government to safeguard the nation's democracy. Resumption of plenary is slated for 24th June 2025.
And after the presidential address to the joint sitting of the National Assembly, You and Your Reps caught up with some members to hear their take on the president's speech and how they see this year's Democracy Day commemoration.
Looking at the issues in complexities in terms of groups, so it is not easy that we stay together for certain numbers of years that we spent as one nation. And secondly, today we are celebrating 26 years of existence. It is something worth celebrating. Yes, we are expected to do better than this after 26 years. But I would like to tell Nigerians that where we are is better than where we were as of yesterday. And looking at the president's speech, I think he has given hope. So I would say that our constituents, Nigerians, will be patient and wait for the promises, the hope that the president has given us as a nation.
What makes June 12th Democracy Day, which is the 26th celebration of democracy in Nigeria, unique is because we have come, despite all the upheavals in the Nigerian democratic process, we are still here. And the 10th Assembly has done a lot of innovative contributions to the democratic process. So I want to say that though it's still a work in progress, but we are still doing fabulously well. The passage of the tax reform bills is also, the autonomy of the local government is another great milestone in our celebration of the democratic days. I must say Nigerians congratulations conference. The legislative cannot do without the executive, likewise the executive cannot do without the legislature. And the president coming today to see us, to celebrate the 26th democracy shows that we have a very, very wonderful relationship. And he came out to bring all that has been achieved throughout these past 2 years that his government came on board, and we also came on board as members of the House of Representatives. And I must say, the most outstanding aspect of today for me is the posthumous award given to an illustrious son of Olumba North and South Federal Constituency, late Professor Mosu, for his enormous contribution to the democratic development of Nigeria. For that, the people of Olumba North and South want to say a very, very big thank you to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The motto was so calm. High and calm in the sense that we know our nature as legislators. If you're not talking what is right, we are going to raise our voice, because that is the essence of our being there. But now that you can see some level of calmness, this shows the president was taking sense when we were listening to him. And another thing that captured my mind is the issue of president clarifying the issue of making Nigeria a one-party system. It's not true. I believe the president is telling the right thing by saying his intention was not to make the country a one-party system, but whoever knocks on his door to come in, there is no way he can close the door from that particular person. And that I can confirm, because the president did not form any committee or any form of group of people that can go around other political parties and persuade them to leave their political party and come to his political party. No, he has not done that. And there will be a time when he is going to do that, maybe towards the election. But he cannot do it now, because even now, voluntarily, people are coming to his party because of good policies he has introduced to the country. We are celebrating 26 years of uninterrupted democracy. This is going to give foreign direct investors confidence that democracy has come to stay in Nigeria, fundamental human rights maintained, and the rule of law can also be applied. So as a result, foreign direct investors can come in and invest, and thereby increasing our GDP. So this is economically what is going to happen. Another thing is going to give Nigeria another place, the Committee of Nations all over the world. Whenever Nigeria is going to be assessed now, Nigeria is going to be considered as one of the democratically elected presidents.
The way Mr. President made his speech and the way the National Assembly responded, we are willing, we are committed to ensure the dividend of democracy to our constituents. What we are after is for the government to take two things, very, very critical: food security and security of the country. Like now, we are approaching rainy season. In some part of the country already is rainy season. So what I will advise is for the government to ensure supply of fertilizer, farming equipment, and number two, the security of farmers. If we have food security, if we have availability of food in the country, I think we solve 60% of our problem. Job will be created. When you improve farming, when you support farmers, I think you are supporting food security in our country. And if you have food security, general security, I think will be part of something that can be immediately. But if you don't have food security in your country, no matter what, that insecurity will again be part of the problem of the country. But I'm hoping, like in my state, this is June. But before this June, already the governor has given 45 bags of fertilizer to each and every 6,552 polling units of Kaduna State for the farmers. So if you can support farming, I assure you, things will be better. And when you compare last year and this year by this time, a bag of maize was 102,000, but today it's less than 60,000. So if we can farm, if we can have support for the farmers and have the food security, I think this bag of rice will not be more than 35,000, and that will be good for the country.
Meanwhile, the House of Representatives reaffirms its commitment to making laws that speak directly to the hopes and aspirations of Nigerians. Now, this pledge comes at a citizens' roundtable hosted by the House leadership as part of events marking the midterm anniversary of the 10th Assembly.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we can...
This roundtable, attended by government functionaries, civil society organizations, and leaders of professional bodies, is part of the 10th Assembly's quest to operate an open parliament that captures citizens' aspirations.
It's been 2 years that subsidy was removed. And as representatives of the people, what have you done to interrogate the savings?
The issues of older persons are being neglected at every level.
Education, health, and agriculture. Is there anything the 10th Assembly is doing in this regard?
These questions elicit responses from lawmakers and policymakers who say they are here to listen and act on citizens' proposals.
The 2025 budget that this had gotten the attention of the legislature to the extent that we included 3.52 trillion naira as the budget for the Ministry of Education, which is the highest. That's never happened before.
On the issue of the fumbling of JAMB and WIAC, the House is doing an investigation to ensure that they get to the root of this challenge.
We focus on making sure that we retain investment, that businesses operating within the shores of Nigeria have a conducive environment.
There was advocacy for decentralization of the citizens' engagement.
Meeting the real Nigerians who are out there in the rural communities.
Because that is one way posterity will remember us, but most importantly, it gives us opportunity to really measure whether or not we are effective.
Through such citizens' engagement, the House of Representatives aims to create a more inclusive and responsive legislative process that will truly represent the will of the Nigerian people.
The River State's 2025 budget is now officially on the table, and it's a hefty one. At 1.48 trillion naira, the figure raised eyebrows as the sole administrator, Vice Admiral Bokete Ibas, made his case before lawmakers in Abuja. Presenting that budget before the House Ad Hoc Committee on River State Oversight, the sole administrator explains that key allocations include 3 to 4.5 billion naira set aside for infrastructure and 117 billion naira for pensions, gratuities, and other employee benefits.
Regrettably, some state officials withheld critical information required to ensure a more complete capture of those expenditures at the time of submission of the budget estimates. However, recognizing the exigencies under the state emergency and the need to ensure fiscal credibility, the budget framework integrates expenditure information made available before the submission of the budget proposal to ratify the first quarter expenditures within a lawful and transparent structure.
I want to assure you, in as much as we are committed to joining hands with you to ensure that Rivers gets back on track, we are not going to cut corners. We are going to do the job as we would normally do it for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That way we will be helping you, we'll be helping ourselves, and we'll be helping the country.
The House Ad Hoc Committee sets a later date for a detailed sector-by-sector defense of the Rivers budget. What does the term Enabling Act mean in parliamentary business? I know it's a phrase that gets thrown around in legislative circles, but what does it really mean? We turn to someone who lives and breathes legislative language, Francis Waive, Chairman of the House Committee on Rules and Business.
The term Enabling Act is used to refer in a discussion to the Act of Parliament that gives power to a particular issue. For instance, if you are discussing elections and you want to refer to the Electoral Act, the Electoral Act 2022, for example, is the enabling act for the elections that took place in 2023, the general elections of 2023. And presently, the enabling act for any elections in the country until we go on to amend the Electoral Act. I'm talking specifically of the Electoral Act as an example. So in any issue, the law, the act of Parliament that has been signed into law that deals with that specific issue, that becomes the enabling act for that particular matter. That what gives credence, that gives power, gives authority to that particular issue. And that becomes the law that guides the practice or execution of a particular mandate. That's the Enabling Act.
So this week on You and Your Reps, the committee segment takes a look at public service matters. And to break it down for us, we start with the man at the helm, Chairman of the committee, Sani Umar Balla, who walks us through what the committee does and why it matters to everyday Nigerians.
I've been the chairman of this committee from 8th Assembly, as the chairman, 9th Assembly, and the chairman of the same committee, and God is in his own wisdom make it that in the 10th Assembly, I'm also the chairman. So you see, it has been a process, and as it is now, though the chair, we said the head of service is new, but is understanding time. She was here in my office and to discuss official businesses. There are some issues she wants us to clarify, to talk about them before she takes final decision. She always consults the committee on vital issues that affect the civil service. So I'm very happy with that, and I want to tell you that. And she came here just for invite of 2 occasions that there is an international conference on civil service which is to be held at the next month. She came to brief me about their plan. She came to brief me about what the whole idea is all about, and I'm very, very happy with that. And she also told me that there is another occasion coming much later within there, which she wants me to attend, and she briefed me what it is all about. So we are very happy. We have synergy. Apart from that, also I was in Akwa Ibom on Tuesday and Wednesday, and that was because of the new leadership of the National Assembly Service Commission, new management, new commissioners, and the chairman of the commission were appointed and they were sworn in by the president. So they were there for induction, for the induction of the retreat, and they invited me, and we gave a speech, a goodwill message for them, and we show them these are the best way to approach the issues between the synergy between the committee and them, and we are all happy. And that to tell you that the committee is fully engaged and fully committed to the agencies under its purview and those that we oversight. Even the DG Ascon was here. She's new. She was appointed recently and not up to 1 month. And she was here also yesterday with the head of service. And we both came and she told us our plan. There are several plans. She's a very positive woman. I like the way of her thinking. And I want to tell you that I feel naturally that place will have a very positive changes. That is the Administrative Staff College of Nigeria in Badagry, Lagos. Yes, so the committee is doing fine and is working. And as you know, there are some, in the federal civil service, there are recruitment going on. And this is one of the process of recruitment that we have never had much petition and complaint from the public. So I want to tell you that I know things are going all right at the Federal Civil Service and all other places we manage. We have not had any complaint from the unions either. So it's only when there is a problem then the union maybe will start to engage the committee on the issues. But I have not had that. Only that maybe still I'm very sure as usual, workers will need improvement in the welfare of their working places and condition. So that is very natural, but so far so good news. In the last assembly, I came up with an e-government bill, which is all about, doing electronically running the government without files patterned through here and there. And that will reduce the amount of overhead cost of the government by reducing those papers and even messengers and what have you. I want that to be accomplished within the period of our tenure. One day, I want that. I will love to see that the federal civil service everywhere and public, not even federal, because this is public service committee. So not restricting myself to the civil service, I feel one day I hope and pray that the whole virtually administrative aspect of the governance will be an e-type, so that we have to reduce the burden of carrying files, papers, and what have you. Have huge papers. You can see when people are coming for budget defense, they can fill a room with the number of documents. It's easy that they just send you and send the committees the flash drive of the. I think that is better. I have gone through, the bill has gone through the second reading, and maybe we'll try to revive it so that in this assembly, so that we continue to have what it takes to have an e-government in the country.
And that's where we wrap things up on You and Your Reps, where your voice meets the people you send to speak for you. Now remember, democracy doesn't just happen in the chambers. It happens in conversations like this. I am Victor Azo. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time.